Yep, there it is. Michael Jordan on the breakaway.
What if the greatest basketball legacy didn't end with a championship parade, but with silence? What if the final chapter of a dynasty came down to one man, one moment, and one shot? Without a coach's play, without a timeout, without even a word. What if the last thing Michael Jordan ever did in a Bulls jersey wasn't just win, but vanish, like a ghost at the peak of his power? That's the kind of story no scriptwriter could invent, because it really happened. Before we dive into one of the most legendary performances in basketball history, make sure to subscribe to Isaac Weah for more deep dives into iconic moments, untold stories, and the real truth behind the game you love. We go beyond the highlights into the heart of the history. Now let's rewind the clock. Before he became the GOAT, Michael Jordan was a target, a prodigy with doubters. Too selfish, too flashy, all offense, no rings. He dazzled but didn't dominate. He scored but didn't lead. And every season ended the same way, a loss to Detroit, Boston, or someone tougher. Critics didn't just question his game, they questioned his core. Could he lead a team to a championship? Could he sacrifice numbers for wins? Could the most electrifying scorer become the most complete player? Jordan took those doubts personally. He transformed his game. He stopped just flying. He started calculating. He started playing defense like it was offense. He stopped chasing stats and started chasing rings. And that chase led to the most dominant decade in modern basketball. Something shifted in 1991. Jordan wasn't just playing, he was executing a plan. He finally got past Detroit's brutal defense, the infamous Jordan rules. Then he dismantled Magic Johnson's Lakers, ending the Showtime era with a cold efficiency. That wasn't just his first title, it was his announcement. He was no longer chasing anyone. They were all chasing him. Then came '92, Portland. Clyde Drexler was supposed to be his rival, but Jordan made that laughable. In Game 1 of the finals, he dropped 6 threes in the first half and gave us the iconic shrug. That wasn't arrogance, it was disbelief. Even he couldn't believe how far ahead of the competition he was. Then, '93. Charles Barkley was the MVP, but Jordan didn't care. He dropped 41 points per game in the finals. Not once, across the entire series. He made the MVP look like a footnote. 3 straight titles. A three-peat. The sport hadn't seen that level of dominance since the Celtics in the '60s. And then, just as quickly, he was gone. In July of 1993, Jordan's father James was murdered, shot and left in a swamp off a North Carolina highway. For Michael, the man who had been his anchor, his guide, and his best friend, was gone. Basketball suddenly seemed meaningless. Less than 3 months later, Jordan retired. He was only 30.
But he didn't disappear. He switched sports. Baseball. It was his father's dream for him. And like everything else Jordan touched, he gave it everything. He joined the Birmingham Barons, a Double-A affiliate of the White Sox. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad either. He trained obsessively. Teammates said he was the hardest working guy on the team, and he started to improve. Slowly, surely. But the strike in 1994 ended that. Major League Baseball was frozen. Jordan wasn't going to cross a picket line, and he wasn't going to wait. So he went back to the gym, back to the Bulls facility, just to stay in shape, just to play pickup games with old teammates. And then, on March 18, 1995, 2 words dropped: "I'm back." The world shook, television schedules were rewritten, ticket prices doubled. His return game against the Pacers drew record ratings. He wore number 45, his baseball number. The 23 jersey was hanging in the rafters. But he wasn't quite the same. Rusty, slower, less explosive, but still dangerous. By the time the 1995 playoffs rolled around, Jordan had started to look like himself again. But the Bulls weren't ready. They lost to the Orlando Magic in the second round. And that moment, that sting, lit a fire under him. The summer of 1995 is the stuff of legend. Jordan trained like a madman, filmed Space Jam during the day, played pickup with the NBA's best at night. The Jordan Dome became ground zero for his return. And when the 1996 season began, Jordan was all the way back, and then some. The Bulls won 72 games. Jordan won MVP. They stormed through the playoffs. They beat Seattle in the finals. That was championship number 4. The next year, they beat Utah, championship number 5. Then came 1998. Everything was falling apart behind the scenes. Bulls management didn't want to keep the team together. They were tired of Phil Jackson, wary of Scottie Pippen's injuries, and ready for a rebuild. Jordan made it clear, no Phil, no MJ. Ownership reluctantly agreed to one more run. That year was brutal. The Bulls were aging. Pippen missed 38 games. Rodman was erratic. The bench was thin. But Jordan held it all together. He led the league in scoring at 35 years old. He played all 82 games. And he dragged that team back to the finals, again against Utah. The Jazz were better, stronger, deeper. Stockton and Malone had revenge in their eyes. And the series was a war. Every possession mattered, every game was close, and it led to Game 6 in Salt Lake City. June 14th, 1998. The Bulls led the series 3-2, but they were exhausted. Pippen's back was wrecked. He could barely run. Jordan knew he had to do it all. From the opening tip, the Jazz controlled the game. But Jordan kept the Bulls alive, hitting jumper after jumper, locking down on defense. Down 3 with 40 seconds left, he drove, scored, then stole the ball from Malone. No timeout, he crossed left. Russell stumbled, and Jordan rose. Swish! Bulls win, 87-86. Jordan had 45. No one else on the team hit double digits. It was the perfect ending. No celebration, just a raised fist. He walked off the court and into history. 6 titles, 6 finals MVPs, 0 Game 7s. Jordan didn't let moments define him, he defined them. When pressure peaked, he rose, delivered, and disappeared, leaving behind a legacy untouched. For more legendary moments like this, subscribe to Isaac Weah.